Last video, which I'm going to have a little card if I can figure out how to do it, up there on this video so you can see the last video. I said I had more news coming when it comes to the oil fields down in Texas and illegal immigration. Well, I've got a accompanying video on this, but Brownsville, Texas. Two family members with ties to South Texas have been charged with allegedly conspiring to materially support a Mexican cartel previously designated as a foreign terrorist organization, conspiracy to commit money laundering, and related smuggling charges, according to U.S. Attorney Nicholas J. Kanaji. Okay, I just butchered that man. Ganji? Ganja. Superseding indictment returned May 22nd alleges that Maxwell Sterling Jensen of Draper, Utah, James Lell Jensen, Sandy, Utah, conspired to provide material support to the Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generation, CJNG, in the form of U.S. currency. Secretary of State has designated them as a foreign terrorist organization. Basically, what they were doing, they were smuggling oil out of Mexico, saying that it was their oil at their oil field, and then the money that they got after they sold it, well, it's petroleum, so they had to refine it here. They brought it here to refine, and then sent the money back to this cartel. The Cartel de Jalisco Nuevo Generacion. So, let's let you see this clip. Also, hit like, subscribe, all that. Thank y'all for getting me my 500. I will be working on getting everything done, and I've got so much more to do. But let's get into it.
Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
An American oil company, a Utah mansion, and one of the world's most dangerous cartels, all connected on paper. The Jensen family ran a legitimate business according to outward appearances, but prosecutors say it was a front designed to fuel terror against the American people. Our crime correspondent, Jason Matera, has the shocking report.
What appeared to be just another South Texas oil operation was, according to authorities, a front for a massive international crime ring. Nearly 3,000 shipments of stolen crude oil were smuggled out of Mexico into the U.S., with part of the profits kicked back to the Jalisco New Generation Cartel.
I've been in the business many years, 30 years. My father was in the DEA 30 years. I have never personally seen such an innovative scheme.
The takedown effort was dubbed Operation Liquid Death, and former DEA acting administrator Derek Maltz was on it from the start. At the center of it all, a company called Arroyo Terminals. But behind the business name, authorities say was a far darker scheme to relabel stolen oil as waste, slip it through customs, and clean the dirty cash through a legitimate refinery. On paper, it looked like just another venture. In reality, it was bankrolling the cartel.
It's a very brilliant scheme, but at the end of the day, the scheme is making and generating hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in revenue, and the cartels who are killing at record levels are benefiting.
That kind of money always leaves a trail. Federal agents followed it straight to a sprawling mansion in Salt Lake City. When they raided it in April, they allegedly uncovered the blueprint of a laundering empire. Phones, bank records, contracts, all supposedly tying the Jensen family to the cartel.
This is a foreign terrorist organization that we have a U.S. business, in this case, the Jensen family, that was benefiting, making tons of money supporting this foreign terrorist organization. You know, America's got to realize the game has changed.
During the last administration, oil theft was allowed to flourish unchecked. Now, federal officials are scrambling to address what has become a cartel cash cow.
Under this administration, it's about holding criminals accountable for their actions. And in this case, shame on the U.S. businesses that thought they were going to get away with this scheme, because it's just beginning to unfold.
Now, James Jensen and his 25-year-old son Maxwell are facing decades behind bars if convicted. But beyond the courtroom, a bigger question remains. How many more businessmen are playing the same game, just better at hiding it?
Chris, most people don't realize that fuel theft is a massive cash pipeline for the cartels, helping bankroll their drug trafficking and the violence they unleash on both sides of the border. But that revenue stream just hit a wall called Make America Safe Again.
Right on, Jason. Unlike, Democrats who partnered with human traffickers and narco-terrorists, the Trump administration, they're hunting them down, right?
Yeah, 100%. So just this week, the White House hit the Jalisco cartel leaders with a fresh round of economic sanctions, basically freezing any of their U.S.-based assets. And as for the Jensen family, they're now charged with providing material support to a designated terrorist organization. So that sends a loud and clear message to any American business thinking about jumping into bed with the cartels.
To quote The Mandalorian, this is the way. Jason Matera from our Florida newsroom. Thank you, man. Appreciate the update as always.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.
So, they originally also indicted James Jensen's wife, Kelly, who's 54, and son Zachary, who's 27, but they dropped the charges on those two. But that's what they were doing. They were smuggling crude oil up here. Now, they have a place in South Texas where they're supposedly drilling oil, which I'm assuming that they are. I mean, it would look weird if, this is how the oil was coming in. But they made 27. Now, hold on a second here. Let me look this back up. Because this story is just so unbelievable. And so much information. They made 2,881 shipments, $300 million in Mexican crude oil between May 2022 and 2025. Now, how much you want to bet? That video that I talked about, or I did earlier today, how much you want to bet that the folks that were working at their oil field down there in South Texas were probably not legal folks to be there? Now, it don't take a bright mind to figure that one out, that perhaps some of the folks that were working on that little oil field may have had them fake IDs. Here my old self only thought that I needed a fake ID when I was under 21 trying to get into a bar. Well, I never did. I had a Marine Corps ID, so never had a problem with that. But they did this through Arroyo Terminals, Big Hog Energy, and Gentran. This is some wild stuff, folks. This is what's going on. And if this family's doing it, I wonder how many more folks are doing it. 2,881 shipments of crude oil smuggled across the border over a 3-year period. And it was all going to support a cartel. You wonder why these cartels are so militarized. Well, they've got the money too. It's not just drugs. They're doing other things. They're kidnapping. They're smuggling. This is what's been going on, folks. We need to wake everybody up and go quit supporting illegal immigration, because this is what's happening. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. I want to thank y'all for the 500 yet again. So please hit like and subscribe. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now.